Hi guys. Um, Today was my second day at treatment and it went pretty well. The girl that was supposed to go on the shopping trip didn't show up for treatment today, so I got elected to go since I haven't before. And the occupational therapist took me grocery shopping, and it was kind of overwhelming because I grocery shop all the time, on my own. I live so far out of any big town that I basically have to grocery shop after work every night or every other night. So it wasn't like I don't have life skills like that, but it was overwhelming in the aspect that we were shopping for two different units at the same time, and she was asking me a lot of questions about how I shop and my coping skills, how I sabotage myself when I'm shopping, stuff like that, that it's like, I know, and I know it well, and it's, some of my best time eating is in the car on my way home after grocery shopping, because nobody has to know but me. So it was kind of weird to be telling, a complete stranger those details of my life. So that was definitely different. We had a couple of groups today. Nutrition class was a snooze, but I think it's just the person that does the class is just exceptionally boring. Other than that, the day seemed to go pretty good. Someone reminded me that tomorrow is weigh-in day, and so I got kind of anxious about that, because when I did my evaluation about 2 weeks ago, I was at 179 fully clothed at the doctor's office there, and when I went in Monday morning, they did my weight at 182, and that was in a hospital gown. So that means, minus whatever clothes I was wearing, what weight that was, I put on at least 3 pounds, not including then the clothes. So in a week to have put on 3 pounds is something I'm not proud of. So I'm really anxious about what my weight's going to be tomorrow. So I didn't make I made some unwise choices tonight. We had breakfast. I had some cereal and the most disgusting omelet. So I have a huge aversion to onions and peppers. If I can smell that someone has cooked with them, it just makes me want to Ralph. So I had to pick out all of my onions and peppers out of this omelet, which they said is okay. They said I could do that because I was eating the majority of everything else, and that when I meet with the nutritionist tomorrow, I can put them on my do not serve me list. So that, and then I think some milk and a half of an English muffin. Lunch, we as a group made tacos, and we had vegetable fixins with it, black olives and cheese and lettuce and stuff like that. Not that cheese is a vegetable. And then we had strawberries and a piece of a cheesecake type of a premix in a crust. I like my cheesecakes homemade. I feel like I make a pretty good cheesecake. So that was not excellent, but it doesn't mean I didn't want, 3 pieces. One of the girls in my group cheated. She had a lot of food to eat and didn't want to finish it, I could tell, I could see that she was really struggling to get it all in. When some of the girls started getting ready to go, she, sorry, my hand's getting tired, she didn't think anyone was looking, and she took one of her strawberries and tried to throw it at the trash can, and I saw it because I was standing right, to her shoulder, because I didn't want to leave her in the cafeteria, by herself with the teacher if she was just going to be, having a hard time with that food. It hit the floor, and she saw it, and she made a expression oh my God, I'm going to get caught. I picked it up and put it in the trash, because what are you going to do, make her eat that piece? And she made a comment of, you're not going to narc on me, right? And I just kind of laughed and walked away, because I didn't really know what to say. I don't want to be a narc, but at the same time, I also don't want to get called on the carpet for being an enabler of someone who's not doing what they're supposed to do and may be putting their health in danger. I realize one strawberry is not the end of life, but it's probably part of a trend of behavior that has landed that person here. So I asked one of the other girls in the group what they thought about it, and they said that that the girls would not look at me harshly for having said something because they want that accountability even if they act out. So I did mention it to the OT instructor, and she was like, yeah, thank you very much for letting me know. It's not the end of the world, but it is something that we need to be aware of. So I really hated that feeling, really, really hated that feeling. But I would also like to, I would like to know that if I were doing something like that, someone would be watching as well and holding me accountable and calling me on my bullshit. So hopefully she doesn't hate me forever if it gets mentioned. So anyway, I didn't make good choices tonight because I'm anxious about the weigh-in tomorrow. And the shopping trip was a little overwhelming. So I went to the commissary and got like a big ham sandwich thing and some yogurt and an orange, because they give us like a $7 allotment for supper every day. But then when I came back to the hotel, they were also having free food, and they had grilled cheese and like a chicken noodle soup, but there's like no chicken in it. So I had a grilled cheese, and I had chicken noodle soup, and I had a cookie. I don't know if I mentioned it yesterday, but I had a cookie yesterday too. And then came back to the room and was just really sitting with my anxiety, and I wanted to go out and do something, but I didn't have the energy, and I just wanted to go to sleep. So I ate the sandwich that I got from the cafeteria as well, and it was a pretty big, like a deli sandwich. And then I fell asleep for a while, and when I woke up, I just felt awful, just absolutely awful. And I sat with it for a little bit and did some of my cross-stitching stuff, and then I knew I had to get rid of it. So I went and threw it up, and there was still quite a bit in my stomach because they've been making me eat so much food here that my body isn't just sucking it in like it usually does when it gets good food. So that's something I'll probably have to mention tomorrow in group, because they want you to be honest with them and with yourself about stuff like that, and it's not like I'm going to get 30 lashes, but it is a cycle of behavior. So yeah, not an overly productive day, but still trying, and I think overall I'm learning good things, and I'm being able to self-examine a lot better than I have in the past. The thing that's really kind of worrisome about the program, though, is that I'm hearing the other girls talk about their past experiences. I'm the only one in this program that this is my first time. Everyone else has been there at least once or twice. A couple of them were joking about being put on like suicide watch and being given a huge amount of sedatives and taken to a quiet room and doing inpatient psych and all these things. And to me, that's really scary, because up until, 6-7 months ago, I was a normal person. I channeled my anxiety and my depression through anger, and I coped, I dealt, I chased people away so I wouldn't have to worry about it, but I was a normally functioning person who could go to work every day and could eat food and make somewhat decent life choices. So it's worrisome to see that that's the track that they're on, and I feel like a lot of it might be like a negative self-talk, which I know I have, but they're at a much higher degree, and I feel like if they just sit with it and let it stew, it gets worse, and then that's when they get into a really big situation. So I'm glad that I'm able to see this, and like there was one girl in group today that just got really in her head and broke down and cried after the group was done, the day was done. She pulled that psychotherapist aside and in the hallway and was just bawling. And so I'm glad that I can see that. I'm glad I can see those people having those moments, and I can watch the physicality of them going through this, because I don't want to be there. I'm not judging them for it. I'm not at all. I just feel like that is absolutely not a place I want to go. So it's good to see. But anyway, I think that's everything for tonight. I hope everyone's doing well out there, and if you have anything to say, please definitely comment below. Have a good night.